Welcome to an amazing 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egusa Agbonlao. Every week we discuss issues affecting the development of Nigeria and of course states within the country. To this program, my colleague, Winston Marshall, is joining me to do the presentation of today's program. Winston Marshall, nice to have you.
It's a pleasure being here.
Okay, so like I said, we discuss issues regarding the development of Nigeria. And we also give the opportunity to you, to the viewer, to contribute to the program through phone calls. So the phone number will be displayed and you can start immediately. You can contribute to this program. We are looking at poverty and the problem of development. Poverty has led to underdevelopment. So we'll look at poverty and we'll look at the attendant effects of poverty and all other issues that goes with it. So Nigeria would have been better if not for the problem of poverty. Many homes, many families are impoverished. They are unable to cater for their families. They are unable to do what they ought to do because of poverty. But the amazing aspect is that Nigeria is regarded as giant of Africa. But the giant is sleeping with him.
Sleeping giant, sleeping giant.
Yes.
Yeah, well, if you take a look at the concept of poverty, once upon a time, if not now, Nigeria was or still is regarded as the capital of poverty in the world, as in among the records. Some have that particular notion that is the notion they have about the country, Nigeria. Basically, the poverty is not being able to have enough. But right now, you can see that most Nigerians are suffering from abject poverty. Now, that should be the term that most Nigerians like, grappling with if you want to compare the livelihood, when you want to compare it to per dollar. And every Nigerian right now just cannot spend a particular amount of about per dollar. But if you take a look at our GDP, now this is where it gets more interesting and a little bit more confusing. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into the scene and he now said that subsidy is gone, you get to see, or you got to see, the escalation of prices. Some call it undue escalation of prices. When you talk about commodities, when you talk about accommodation, talk about transportation, everything just went up. And it was like beyond the reach of so many Nigerians. If you take a look at a particular instance, Nigerians went from, let's say, the positive end to the negative end. So he now tried to do one or two things to cushion the effect of poverty, vis-a-vis bringing in, how will I put it now, some call it subsidy in a way, or what you call palliative, in terms of transportation, in terms of adding some amount of money to civil servants to the workforce, because a circular thing from the civil service, the civil servant, it goes straight there to the society and all the Nigerians, they are still complaining that things are not what they used to be. But as the year goes by, because going to 2 years now, things are beginning to take shape gradually, but not instantly. But still, Nigerians are still feeling the pangs of poverty, but not as it was when it just came out to say subsidy is gone.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference now because our GDP, if you take a look at business stand, it is getting better. But you get to realize that the GDP of the country is not reflecting in some states of Nigeria or in some states in the country. Take, for instance, Delta State, Sokoto, Enugu, Abuja. Even some other states that are supposed to be having the same kind of reflection in GDP are still lagging behind because of inflation. You understand it? In Nigeria today, at least it used to be 32% inflation. Right now it has dropped to about 23. Why some states are still grappling between 30 and 32? What are the causes of this?
Okay, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
But I think Wilson has just given the template because we are actually looking at poverty and we're looking at economic hardship. Poverty is gives birth, in a layman language, gives birth to economic hardship. So many Nigerians are really grappling with the economic hardship in the country. But some persons have said, why should Nigerians be suffering in the midst of plenty? The governor of Niger State has come out to say that Nigeria has no business with poverty if they take advantage of the huge potentials in the agricultural sector. Well, we have our very first caller who will be making contribution. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Okay, I'm calling from Igwebe.
Oh, all the way from Igwebe. Please go ahead.
Yes.
What's your contribution to this? Poverty, economic hardship in this country. What's the way out?
Well, just as your colleague there have spent out, the indices, the GDP growth, is it reflecting in the life of the ordinary Nigeria? It is capital no.
Okay.
The truth is this: we are not, the leadership of this country is not ready because we are interested in the next election. Why is it that people that are elected, why not focus on governance, talk of your first tenure? Before 2 years, you see them talking about next tenure. Empowering people with cash, without physical development, no growth in reality, no agro industry, nothing. You give them money, give people money. Look at this humanitarian ministry they are doing. It's a way of siphoning Nigeria money. They are not doing anything. You don't, that is not an empowerment. It's an avenue to steal, and they are actually stealing. As far as we are concerned, poverty will continue to prevail. You have seen during election, they empower people. Even the country people we are talking about, the whole laws now that is now taking over, crime and criminality. Who are the people that empower them? Is it not the politicians? And after election, all of them have to survive. This is where we are. Nothing is happening. Nothing, no farm, nothing is happening. Nothing. The leadership of this country is not ready. Thank you.
Okay, before you go, please, because you are from Igwebe. Are you resident in Igwebe? Do you stay in Igwebe? Okay, we just lost that caller. I would have asked him what is really happening in his local government area. It's very important. Listen, now, many persons actually believe that Nigerians are supposed to be living in affluence.
Yes.
But that's not the reality on the ground. So many Nigerians are really going through hardship, which is the offshoot of poverty, economic hardship. If you go to the markets, the prices are on the high side. Price of goods and commodities, price of food items. Okay, we have another caller. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's still the same advocate from Igwebe.
Okay, yes. I was just about asking you. Yes, I was about asking you. Do you stay in Igwebe? Do you reside in Igwebe?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a bona fide citizen of Igwebe.
Okay, thank you.
I'm an elite. I'm not a novice.
Okay, thank you.
I'm one of those who knows what is happening.
Good. Please, I want to ask you a question. What do you think government can do probably to boosting agricultural sector right there in Igwebe to boost food production?
That is exactly what I have said.
Yes.
It's not by giving people cash. It's let them establish a mechanized farming.
Okay.
And where we should make agriculture attractive and other productive industries, not just mere cosmetic services that have no meaningful impact on the life of the ordinary Nigerian. Are we going to use social services? Nigeria services, Nigeria economy is based on social services, not tangible goods. You cannot see tangible goods being produced. How long can we go? You can see what is happening now. After election, the people must eat. That is where we are.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I think he has answered my question. Yes, listen.
Now, talking about your question, before you open the phone line, you said something about Niger State government. It may interest you to know that Niger State is one of the states in Nigeria that cost of living is very, very high compared to other states, according to statistics. 8 states were mentioned in the first quarter. Niger State, Sokoto, Enugu, Delta. But I was also sorry that Edo State is not in that list. That will tell you that the governors, what are they doing in their state that they are governing? Because the caller talked about is not about giving money. One has to really fight poverty is by finances. But where they are lacking is monitoring this money. Who are those tracking, knowing, taking upon themselves to know how this
supposed to be giving money to people? That's what the caller has said. Is government supposed to be doing that to the humanitarian ministry or whatever?
Over 2 million families were targeted to be given money to. At least that will alleviate poverty.
Out of how many millions in Nigeria?
Out of over 200 million. Talking about the poor of the poor.
That is very significant.
Yes, because right now...
let's get the thought of this caller before you continue.
Sure.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please tell us your name. Where are you calling from? Then make your comments.
This is Mosobo from Lucky Way.
Oh, thank you very much. Benin City, go on.
I've been trying to talk to you for a Malaranta. What I'm trying to say is this. The effort the police are putting in courtesan and kidnapping, why are they not putting on this Fulani herdsmen? Because that Fulani herdsmen law have been...
Okay, we don't want you to mention... Please, we don't want you to mention any ethnic Fulani herdsmen, no. Just say held out, because not all Fulani... Some Fulani are good people.
Why are they putting on this court boys and kidnapping? Why not put that effort on the herdsmen? They are making food to be escalating. Why? Let them put more effort on that herdsmen than even the corporates. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
People make comments. He
yes.
believes that government can channel its energy to boosting agriculture, to providing an employment for the youth and all of that. I think that's what he's trying to say.
But the thing is, I'll be asking this question. How come things are cheaper when we talk about food items in Lagos when compared to states like Benue, which is the food basket
Benue is supposed to be food basket
of the nation, and of course Niger State that has gone into agriculture full time?
Yes.
How come? Management. Who are the people monitoring the finances given to certain MBAs, certain governors, parastatals, you just name it? Nobody is doing adequate monitoring. Money is being expended because of what we have told and what is on the paper. There is an increment in revenue for each state and federation. That's why I wouldn't want to hit the people in the center. No. What are the states doing with their finances? How come in some states you can still go around in some states, you'll be comfortable? You go to the market, you will smile. You go to some other states, it's going to be tears, sorrow, and of course more tears because of the way they choose to organize their own economy. Okay. Nigeria has its own economy, then the states have its own economy. So they need to be in synergy for us to really gain from what the government is trying to do.
We'll
they talk about herdsmen.
Okay.
Chasing people out of the farmland and the rest of them. Yes, that is a factor to consider. But some states have been able. Push these herdsmen away from their community, hence they can go to the farm.
We'll see, you'll continue, but that will be after this break. Okay, it's always a delight to have you back on the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. We're getting some callers, but let's just take this caller now that we are back. Good afternoon, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. I just want to answer the question Whiskey raised.
Okay.
I'm calling from Gwebe once again.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, the reason why things are cheaper in Lagos, you know, an average Nigerian want to make abnormal profit, and we look for where there is market, and there's market in Lagos. The population is there, and you discover that the cost of transporting things to Lagos ought to be higher, but the cost of people buying it here, so you will discover that it's equal to the cost of people buying it in Lagos. Regardless the transportation cost. So that people gather products are carried to Lagos and getting there will be surplus. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. It's talking about the population in Lagos. You know, when supply is more than demand,
yes.
The price will surely come down. But let's enlighten our viewer for them to really understand that Nigeria could have been better if the agricultural sector is developed. Poverty must be exterminated. let's get this caller. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, David from Benin.
Okay, go on.
The problem is not the herders or those cattle rearers. No.
Oh, okay.
They have been with us for a very long time, for ages. They have been here, you know. So they are not the problem. Those kidnappers, let me just tell you, they are from outside Nigerians. Outside Nigeria, I mean. They are Niger, you know, Togo, those Mali, you know. They are from there. Are you getting it?
Yes, I'm with you.
Identifying those people matters a lot. They are in the bush. They don't have business with cattle. Are you getting me?
Yes.
They can sometimes disguise to be cattle headers or something like that. But they don't do that. They don't have business with cattle. Are you getting me?
Yes.
They can use that one as a disguise. But the real cattle headers, that is their business. That cattle rearing is their business. The only offense all those one commit is maybe they destroy your farm, their farm land or something like that. That's all. Say maybe they want to kidnap, no. Say things are cheaper in Lagos, no. Things are cheaper if only you know the price of that goods. If you don't know, you can be cheated. I bought a face cap in Lagos 1,500 then. I bought the same face cap here in Benin 500 naira.
Bargaining strength, bargaining power.
So it's a bargaining power.
Yes.
That's what matters. If you don't know the price of anything, you can't profit it. So in marketing, there's no fixed price.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. I think he made some points, but the security agencies will have to investigate this because some of these ideas can help. Okay, we have another caller. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, that's a network problem. We're unable to get that caller. So you can contribute and ventilate your ideas. You can also help government by contributing to the discussion because they are listening. Okay, we have this caller now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Omiwafa from Wode local government.
I like your name. Go on.
The problem we have is start from the store. The 1980 according to our car, because they employ police. There was lack of environment sanitation, they employ people. People social they employ people. So everything is as an citizen or an citizen of the country. Before you contest to become the president of the local government, you make a suit of millions of naira. They actually expect people that want to vote for you to go to me. That is number one. In the only days, we want to come as citizens. Nobody wants to serve each other anymore. So we say we know what is going on concerning this economy. We don't, the government don't need to empower anybody. In the only days, our fathers do their best and then we succeed to them. Then what are we trying to come when we have a land over our community? And there are many
Thank you very much. Thank you. You see the point that has been made by this caller.
True.
He said that some communities don't even have land again now because the so-called Kagele youth leaders, they are selling
the
land. And they don't think about where people will farm. Because agriculture is one sector that can absorb
Poverty.
The youth.
Yes.
And, exterminate poverty.
Have you asked yourself this question?
Okay.
How come when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into the scene, some price of goods and commodities were up there, all right? We're talking about fuel subsidy, the price of fuel pump, price and the rest of them. Now that the price has been reduced, how come the price is refused to come down? Man-made poverty, man-made hike in price.
That's another idea
we are
now.
the one dealing with ourselves. Take a look at some states that have these enforcers of market prices at work. They'll just go tell you, this is the maximum you can sell. And once you follow that rule, this will be trouble for the people. Do we have market regulators? Because some of this trade.
So you are talking about price control now?
Because whether they want to gain excess from the masses, not knowing fully well that All these things goes in circle. If you increase your price today, the next gentleman is going to increase his own price. Then what are you going to do? You're going to have inflation before you to go battling with what they call two-digit inflation. Why? It is caused by we Nigerians. We are the ones dealing with ourselves. Answer this question: how come if you go to state A or market B, you get to see disparities in prices? How come some people just go to the farm, they to go out there, farm, come back, and give you the goods at the right price?
Okay, listen, let's just quickly get this caller. Good afternoon, your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, just missed it. Please continue.
So saying before, price disparity, price control, it should be enforced. When people came into the saying, the first thing they did was to ban unionism in the market. These are the henchmen of prices in various markets. They tell you, you don't go above this, you don't go below this, because we are looking out for the interests of our members. Who are the members? Traders. You can see if you are going out there to purchase something at a very minimal price, just wanted to make excess gain, they tend to peg the price as way high, that to be like, oh, the government is not trying enough, which is not true. Because someone out there want to make excess gain, not knowing that it is going to go behind also and poke us all on the back, and we are all bearing the brunt. It is not only government. Yes, government policy can even actuate. Some wrong policies by government will just make someone take advantage of that policy and start punishing poor Nigerians.
Yeah, so
tell me.
For instance, the government policy you talked about.
Yes.
I know that so many Nigerians have criticized the administration of President Bola Tinubu because of the removal of
subsidy,
petrol subsidy. Though the government has explained that some persons took advantage of that subsidy, that those who were supposed to benefit were not benefiting, but rather even the rich people were taking advantage of it to enrich themselves. They were smuggling petroleum products outside the country. But immediately President Bola made an announcement of removal of petrol subsidy, the prices of goods, food items, services went up. And that's why we are still suffering.
But right now, that's what brought down the price of the fuel.
Transportation is a big problem.
But right now, the price of fuel came down. How come?
No, but
it didn't reduce.
The reduction cannot be compared to the way it was.
Yes.
Let's get this caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Felix Ago, calling from Edo State.
Okay, go on.
I think the major problem we have right now is this issue of herdsmen. Most of the times when you go to your farm, you see that these people do go to your farm during the evening time. In the evening, after you might have left the farm, they'll go there, eat up your... I don't know, the thing is, this is their cow, they like Gary so much. they will destroy your farm. I don't know what they like.
They love Gary so much.
They will leave the rest thing. So I believe if everybody are having that free mind to go to farm without all this their worriness, I think there will be enough food for all, and the poverty and hardship will be reduced in a way. That is, I don't know if there's anything the government can do to at least reduce this their menace. It will be okay. When you attack these people, even your local chief, we back them up. Why did you attack them? There was one occasion when we went to the farm, we saw these herdsmen in the farm, tried to shoot them, they were smoking in the farm. So we injured one of the cows. The next thing, they took us to our traditional ruler and were blaming us. Why did we attack them? They made us to pay a huge sum of money. They didn't talk about the destruction the cow were doing in our farm. So I think this is a very big problem. If there's any way the government can help us, that's my little contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So you can contribute to this program through phone calls. Yeah, we've seen the clip, the footage on air. That's actually from our correspondent in Delta State, Benga Ahmed, where fish traders complain that government need to revamp the fishing industry. That they depend on fishing, you know, to sell and all of that. That's where they get their income from. But that is difficult for them because of even paucity of fish. They don't get enough fish. Those who bring fish for them are also complaining of high cost of PMS for their boat.
That's
why I told you that subsidy issue really affected a lot.
Aside this, I'm saying that most of the things, they are caused by we are the one inflicting this pain on ourselves. You talk about subsidy removal, then it used to be 1+, some area 1.5, but now it's below 1,000. To see the greed of men, why can't you use your own mind to reduce the cost of this item? Because there's a reduction already. Why the excess gain? Now, maybe now you made a point that, okay, fine, a little here, 1,005, the price of fish is extra, maybe 5,000 naira. Now it's now 900, it's on climb 800, and you still leave that price as 5,000 naira for what? That means you are punishing us, Nigerians. Now that is where they do not get it yet. Until someone step up and say, look, we are now regulating these prices. This must be what you will sell. Everything will come back to normal.
Okay, I
It's
see,
like a default
you are emphasizing the issue of price control. But let's take a break now. After this break, we'll continue with the discussion. Poverty, economic hardship in Nigeria, Nigerians ought not to suffer. We'll talk about the reasons. Nice to have you back on the program. It is 60 Minutes Nigeria, and it's always a delight to know that you are there enjoying your 60 minutes with us on the program. We've seen members of the public call in, make their contributions. Some of them have a lot to say that you may not be aware of. Okay, now, we're looking at poverty, we're looking at economic hardship. One of the problems has to do with population. It is said that we don't have accurate statistics, accurate data, where government, which can help government. You recall that the previous government in Edo State did a lot about data, collection of information, trying to have a data bank. Many persons don't understand that intelligence, technology must be applied to resolving some of these crises. It's just been estimated that Nigeria has a population of over 200 million people. It's just assumption. May be far above that, it may be less than that. So many youths are not employed. Now, when you talk about employment, government plays a very pivotal role. Government can offer employment in terms of recruitment in the different sectors to the civil service, but government cannot employ everybody. That means government must create the platform for the private sector to thrive. Wilson, you need to comment on that now.
All right.
Unemployment is one of the reasons why Nigerians are poor. So many Nigerians are not employed. You see youths in the morning, they just move around. They don't have a job.
Well, if you
the private sector plays a great role in terms of moping these youths, in terms of employing these youths from the streets.
Well, a country's population is supposed to be its strength. Take a look at India. Take a look at China. If you take a look at the US, population ought to be an added advantage if you know how to utilize it.
Yeah, in terms of marketing.
Marketing it. And because if a population is able to create jobs that satisfy the population, poverty will reduce drastically. But as soon as you have the population, you don't know what to do in terms of job creation, there'll be an issue. Yes. Insecurity will be the order of the day. Killing, kidnapping will be the order of the day because the youths, they have nothing much doing. Well, government on one hand cannot absorb everyone, but like what you likely said, they can create an enabling environment for business to thrive. All those companies that left the shores of Nigeria, some of them shared over 10,000 workers. When I got to know of this statistic, I was like, so sad. Michelin, is it Unilever, the original Unilever? You just name it. John Holt, the real John Holt, not the one that going through franchise. These were true companies that are really absorbing the youths, making them to keep off crime. But right now, they're no longer there. What has the government of the day done about it? That is where they should come into play. You create the environment, one of the things that we don't have power. What have they done about power situation? Our grid don't have collapsed like over 10 times this year, right? What have they done about infrastructure, roads? what have they done about security?
So this is the role of government now,
yeah,
creating the enabling environment
for business to thrive. Because
yes.
if you can put all these in place, definitely no one will take advantage of this particular situation to start punishing Nigerians. It's like you seeing a loophole, you're not exploiting a loophole to exploit Nigerians. That's what's happening right now. Some Nigerians may not have the opportunity to, like, you know, study situation, be like, I am not government. Even if they have the money to construct roads, even if they have the money to power a particular community, they'll tell you, we are not government, that is not our responsibility. Really, is it a responsibility? But they can help if they want to. If government can put all these things in place and can now channel our own population for the betterment of Nigerians.
Okay, another area,
yeah.
We've talked about government creating an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive. The government can look at areas of tax relief so that the private sector can have enough funds to employ people. Then you've talked about roads, talked about constant power supply. It is said that if Nigeria can get that sector right,
everything will just fall in place.
Everything will fall in place, because then artisans, those who fabricate things, those with vocational skills, they will now have power to do their jobs. That's, again, you recall what happened in the previous government, where they created a center at Saple Road, where you used to have the customary courts.
Yes.
You know, they made power available there. So we now have artisans, we now have welders, different people, electricians, they all converge there,
yeah,
so that they can have power to do their own type of specialized jobs. So government plays a role in creating an enabling environment for the private sector. Then even the agriculture we are talking about, we keep emphasizing or looking at the area of subsistence farming.
yeah.
But the governor of Niger State said the agricultural sector can provide all that we need. If a nation can feed itself, number one, I think poverty will be gone. So don't you think government, like you said, should create roads to our various communities? Government is always talking about roads within the urban area. What about the rural area?
All right, now
that's another aspect.
Yes. Well, if you take a look at what this administration is doing, I'm not their mouthpiece though.
Okay.
Because
are you talking about this Edo State government? Okay.
Research and all that. Do you know at the end of the day have given states power to generate their own power? They permit to do so. Even private individuals right now can generate their own power. What is stopping them from doing it? Because it's now glaring and so clear that government cannot do this alone. Though the onus lies on the government of the day to provide this. Right now, they're beginning to give states, individuals, the right to generate power. The question now is, what is stopping us from generating power? You talk about road infrastructure. Now, some states and some individuals, they've been told also, if you can construct roads, go ahead, do it. Collect tolls for those roads you've constructed. That's another avenue. So what is preventing our own rich men right now in court, the elite politicians, from doing that? The issue right now is not about the money. It's about the heart. To have this sympathy on the people. Government, if you can do this, go ahead, do it. You take the toll for a certain number of years, and of course you give it back to the government. Because right at the beginning, to privatize everything, if we key into this 100%, all these problems will solve. But the only place right now, the yellow cell, so to speak, is that of security. You can't send individuals to, like, you know, protect yourself. No, the government needs to come fully into the particular sector. But they did one thing again. I'm not that much, I repeat. They have forest guards right now. They said over 130,000 forest guards. I mean,
which of the states?
About just the nation.
Okay.
They were told to, like, you know, go to our forests, clean it up. I believe components of each state would definitely have a quota to contribute to make it up to 130,000.
Because most of our callers have really been talking about
security,
elders,
farmer
and clash, and all of
now,
that.
the forest guard, that was last week. You understand it? That has not been made already. Apart from the security chiefs, police, but then I said you have forest guards that will go into our forests, and that is what people in the West have been doing. a motorcycle call. They engage the hunters, go to our forests, clean it up. So why can't each state do likewise? If you can do this, definitely people will heave sigh relief and they'll go back to the farms. So you see, right now, this administration is beginning to push the responsibility positively back to the people, giving them support. So the question now is, what is stopping us from doing the right thing that will benefit us?
Okay. So you can be a part of this program. We've gotten callers from Igwebe, from different part of Edo State. You can call in. The phone number is displayed on the screen. Make your contribution. How can we solve the poverty in Edo State in Nigeria? How can we actually solve or curb the economic hardship? So many women are complaining. Men are complaining. The youths, so many are not employed. They are just there. The teeming youths, they need to be engaged. Okay, we have a caller now. Good afternoon. Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm advocate. I'm calling from the government once again.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So how do we solve?
What I just want to contribute to is
Yes.
the statement made by Wilson
Okay.
that fuel subsidy, fuel price of oil has been reduced. That is very, very insignificant. It cannot produce any impact at all.
I agree with you. I've told him.
Oh, the
Okay. Oh, sorry. We just lost
advocate
from
you don't want to
Igwebe.
make that point. Yes, but
I
still.
think the point he has made is that the reduction so far in PMS is not significant enough. It will have impact. That's the point he's made. I've seen some truck drivers. A particular truck driver told me that you people should talk about diesel. That's another area that we keep talking about PMS. That the trucks that they use in conveying food produce from the rural areas to the town or to the markets in town, they don't depend on PMS.
Uncle Diesel, yeah.
You understand? So, thank you very much, the man called advocate from Igwebe.
But still, strangely,
okay.
the price of diesel also has reduced. That's because I don't like working with sentiment. I like
No, the
working with
reduction
facts.
is what they are talking about. The reduction is not enough.
Believe you
Okay,
me.
let's get. Okay, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Peter. I'm calling from Benin.
Okay, go on.
Peter, the former staff of ITV.
Okay, go on.
My friend, you see, the problem in this country is our leaders, they are so wicked.
Okay.
The Bible says wickedness is worse than witchcraft. These people refuse to do the right thing. I remember when I got my appointment in 1991, my salary was 2,500, I think less. Yet, we were able to pay rent, pay certain things, because cost of living as of that time was very okay. These people, I don't know, maybe there is external influence, foreign influence that is influencing the government that allows so many things to go bad. We are talking about fuel. We have a lot of refineries, we have a lot of fuel. Crude oil in this country, nobody is refining them for us to make money. I watched a video the other day. I don't know if it is true. These white people want us to be bringing the raw materials to them for them to process and give it back to us for us to buy. People can make this country a better place. What they need, establish places for these young people to work. These people are so angry. That's why you see them going to other things, doing all this rubbish. And more again, policemen will never allow them rest. Give me your phone. And the boys are so angry. That is why you see them do all sorts of things to make money. Not the money police want. Then you give them and go ahead. So our leaders have to focus on how to bring down the economy of this country. Make sure that things work. I thank God for Chief. Look at all his establishments. People are working there. Let others try that. Bring establishment into this country, a place to make shoe, place to make car. Even you can train all these boys on how to do a lot of this. They will have their mind focused on good things and not evil. The problem of this country is boiled down to the wickedness of our leaders. All they want is their own. Even not their own family, their own. That is the problem. So my brother, we have a long way to go. We need to talk to our leaders so that they can just make this country a better place. Look at them jumping like frog from one party to the other because you are afraid that you lose the next election as a governor or as a senator, as anything. You will jump to the ruling party. That is what they are doing. They don't think about anybody, just about themselves. So my brother, I don't want to keep my brother to go to session waiting. My brother, well done.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
We'll take a break now and we'll continue. You know, I said you can contribute, you can be part of the program. You see the way we're interacting with you, you can be a part, but that will be after this break. Okay, we just got that caller, Peter, who said, well, our leaders need to change their tactics. They should think about the welfare of the people more than their personal gains. And I think our leaders will heed that call. We need to create, like I said, the private sector need to be encouraged so that they can create the platform to employ our youths. Youths need employment. In China, we talked about China, that the population is their strength. You have so many artisans there in China. You have people doing, electronic gadgets. Yeah. They're into ICT.
ICT, in fact, they're everywhere.
They are doing a lot.
They
do chips, yes. I was just trying to remember that. Chips. Chips for computers, chips for electronics, chips for so many things. So the people over there are busy working. A man that is working may not think of evil. We have another caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name? Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Okomu. My name is Friday.
Okay, Okomu. Thank you. Go on.
So what am I trying to say is that the problem we are having in this country is our leaders. Our leaders, they have money, who are the politicians, whereby to engage our youth in one place or the other. And look at our former governor of CBN. Look at the structure in March in Abuja. And those who I know have helped the whole state for reducing of crime. And nobody ever know that that kind of man had that kind of structure in Abuja. So, which means most of our politicians, they have money to help the less privileged. That's what I guess.
Thank you very much. All the way from Okomu, thank you very much. You can make your contribution to the program. He talked about investment. That's what I've been saying. Those who are rich should invest. Don't go and be keeping your money in the bank. Invest. Create, develop ideas.
And they should tell you they cannot trust the board
set up companies.
They'll tell you they can't open up a company for someone to consign for their money. It's an issue of trust.
No, but you can have managers. You can have those to monitor and help you run the business.
I've interviewed a very strong and powerful man. He has good money. We also, you know what, Nigerians don't really want to invest in Nigeria because they don't trust the people. That's but as I look, he said he hasn't tried a relative. Get person money to go open a business. Before he knew it again, he was finding money from that same business just to help himself. Not only that, that business was open to help him and others around him. It's trust. Who will they trust?
But everybody can't be the same.
Good. So the thing is that let's say among the 12, you have at least one Judah. Maybe he bumped into the Judah, and that was one of the reasons why he said, look, rather than opening companies there, rather go else and do it because of the issue of trust, because they have this mentality. He's over there, he said Nigerians are dubious, which is not correct. But that is a mentality.
And we say you need to enlighten him.
I've been doing my best.
You can't be residing overseas.
And you're telling me this?
You can't be residing overseas. You've made money. You refuse to invest in your country.
Nigeria.
I have watched a documentary of a particular country. They encourage their relatives to travel abroad. So they go and work in foreign companies and bring the proceeds back home to build houses, to develop their country. I watched a documentary where I said, this is good.
Fantastic idea.
But in Nigeria, once Nigerians leave, they forget about the fact that they are from Edo State or they are from, that's not good enough. We have another caller. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
This is Charlie Edo, sir.
Oh, where are you calling from?
calling from Airport Road.
Okay, go on.
Okay, I think that in as much as we see submission so far, I have no problem with it.
Okay.
But you see, if we're going to get the right result, we're going to look at it from everywhere.
Okay.
It's not enough to be quick to say that PMS has been reduced. For example, mega station is selling 920 and some are selling 960. If you use that as a measurement, then you are giving opportunity to politicians to continue to take the people for granted, and they will not be able to get results. For example, here is 920, and drivers should reduce their fare. But do you know how much the law enforcement agency on the road collect from them? At the end of the day, that will be built into their daily routine. Now you find out that there are a lot of issues that you need to look at. For example, you talked about China. We did talk about a place like India. As of today, India has overtook China in terms of population.
Yeah, that's
And you
correct.
find out that China is over 1.4 billion, governed by one president. India, a little above that, governed by one president. The whole of Africa put together, we are now up to 1.4 billion, governed by 54 presidents.
Yes.
So don't you think that something is wrong with us? If you look at the coronavirus, the president of China, Xi Jinping, was in the farm looking at how he can grow their agro business. One of the reporters asked him, you are going to be hiding, why are you in the farm? He said the world is at a standstill. Once coronavirus is over, the world will need food. What President Buhari said was that is also wrong. So I think that if we must get it right, there is one of which we need to look at. When we are looking at the issue of the policy of government, because government cannot actually control the economy when they have not put any measure in place. What you have right in Nigeria, academic discussion, we are going to, we have this, we have that. At the end of the day, there is no measurement to look at the input, and at the end of the day, you see the output. You don't have it. So if we must get it right, government make policy, they must ensure they follow up to ensure that those policies, they are working pari passu based on what is coming out of government house or also work. If that is not done, it is the people that will suffer. Go to Ringo and see what is going on. Even though government have made policy. So I think that for it to work, government will have its own policy, have people that are helping it to drive it. Government will feedback, telling the government and president what we are doing is not working. I think if we are doing ABC, when there is insecurity, government does not have a farm. Who are you going to fall back to? So let's look at this area so that we're not talking about PMS, CSTs, and all that. Good afternoon, God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was wonderful contribution from our last caller. It's our last caller on the show. Okay, we have another caller, but I don't think we can take this now. Please do bear with us. Next week, by the grace of God, we'll be looking at another topic. Yeah. Just your closing remarks so we can leave this studio.
Anyway, the government should do their talk. I mean, governors also inclusive, local government chairman also inclusive, politicians inclusive, you and I inclusive. We should match our own words with action. If we can do that, Nigeria definitely will be a place to live in.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wilson Omasho has been my special guest on this week's edition of 60 Minutes Nigeria. And you are special out there, those of you who called in. But the program is over now. We can't allow calls again. You're waiting next week. We appreciate your calls. My name is Ego Sagmala. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye-bye.